Hi, welcome to Counting Wisdom. One of the reasons we keep going over the same things in the Bible is that before we actually go to the New Jerusalem, which comes down from heaven, it's that we as people sometimes forget the basics. It may seem weird, like when you see someone asking you a question you already know the answer to, and you may be thinking in your head, like, that's stupid, like, I already know that type of thing. We have to remember the things that are basic, and also we have to memorize, the basics as well, and grow from there, because sometimes what we know already has to be reinforced into our brain. Like a house that is bought new, as time goes on, if it is not cared for, it will rust and grow old, even when you bought the house brand new. Today, we are going over what the term means, do to others what you would have them do to you. Do you really think about every situation where if you were the other person, you would want to be treated as you're about to treat them? If you made a law on the highway, no speeding, and really believed in it, would it not make you sad if someone ignored what you want? That being said, before we get a handle on this concept, we have to give people a chance, because some people, they don't know how to drive, or they might be a new driver, or they may speed over the limit because they feel in danger, or they feel like they have to speed for some reason. And so then we would have to ask ourselves, why do cars even go over a certain speed limit? Anyway, in the Bible, we work hard at the basics and work hard at studying the Bible so that we can be set free and do all of Jesus' commands. We need to make sure we know all of God's commands, but not so obvious, not such obvious concepts is the the not so obvious concepts are summed up in the law. Like if the basic is don't steal, you won't have to go to the other laws that say, okay, if you've stolen, what you have to do next. So that's why the law is summed up in the 10 Commandments. And then, so peace means to me, and I hope it means the same thing to you as well, is that peace is doing what makes you happy, and then also doing what the Bible says and practicing what is in the Bible. And so you have peace of mind and confidence that what you're doing is right. And so a cool thing that you can try doing is folding a paper maybe like this and making a little booklet and writing some cool things. This has tape on it, so this one actually doesn't look that good, but you could probably get pretty good at this, at making your own book. And I write down some concepts that are pretty easy to remember, and some ones that are a little bit more difficult as well. And then they have also cool little Bibles that you can take with you and definitely kind of read whenever you want to. And so, one of the things that I've kind of found lately, and I guess it's a bit of my testimony, is that, when I used to sort of come to Christ, it's sort of interesting that you realize that everybody has to walk through a certain test. When the Bible says all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, I might have said this before, but you can tell a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old that concept and tell them, hey, don't sin, but they still have to be tested, and they still have to walk through a certain test and overcome that test. And so, I've definitely have sped before on the highway, and yet now, even more and more, I'm 28 years old, I realize more and more, okay, there's, a good reason why we do the speed limit. It reduces the amount of car accidents and things like that. And then just understanding that, you know, when we have new drivers out there, we have new Christians out there, we have to definitely give them the time to make that change. And it's not so like easy of a one step. You know, I've been driving for a while, since I, you know, had my license in like way back in 2010. And even today, you know, I'm still learning about, you know, how to drive well. You know, it could change even from like, you know, when you go on a like cross country trip, that's a different type of driving, and you have to adjust your driving skills for that. Or you know, if you're driving up a mountain, you know, there's different ways of realizing how you need to apply the basics. And so I actually haven't learned why the cars go above 100 miles per hour. Maybe they, you know, somebody plans on building like a cool, you know, raceway or something where you could, you know, race, you know, that is official, or, you know, has like a cool, structured type of thing. I don't know. But anyway, you know, the rules are in place, but we definitely have to give people, you know, time. Excuse me, sorry for rubbing my nose. But we have to definitely give people time for making that change, making that transition. You know, that's what I would ask for others, for myself, and also, you know, I need to give the other person, you know, in different situations, that time to adjust to the right way of living that God expects from us, and Jesus expects from us to do well in all areas. And so I hope this video is very helpful. And you know, take a walk outside if you want to enjoy your morning a little bit better, and try making that booklet. And I hope this video helps, and God bless you. Thank you so much for watching Counting Wisdom. See ya.